Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna everyone. In this connection, can you hear me Mataji?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. In this connection, the example of the rainy season is very appropriate. Seasonal rainfall may be taken as the agent for creation because after the rainfall, the wet fields are prepared for growing different types of vegetation. Similarly, as soon as there is creation by the Lord's glancing over the material nature, immediately the living entities spring up in their different living conditions, just as different types of vegetation grow after a rainfall. The rainfall is one, but the creation of the different plants is varied. The rain falls equally on the whole field, but the different plants sprout up in different shapes and forms according to the seeds planted. Similarly, the seeds of our desires are varied. Every living entity has a different type of desire, and that desire is a seed which causes its growth in a certain type of body. Over the material need. This is explained by Rupa Goswami by the word Papa Bija. Papa means sinful. All are, Mataji, can you scroll up? All our material desires are to be taken as Papa Bija or the seeds of sinful desires. The Bhagavad Gita explains that a sinful desire is that we do not surrender unto the Supreme Lord. The Lord therefore says in the Bhagavad Gita, I shall give you protection from the reactions of sinful desires. These sinful desires are manifested in different types of bodies. Therefore, no one can accuse the Supreme Lord of partiality in giving one type of body to a certain type of living entity and another type of body to another living entity. All the bodies of the 84 lakh species are created according to the mental condition of the individual living entities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Purushottama only gives them a chance to act according to their desires. Therefore, the living entities act by taking advantage of the facility given by the Lord. At the same time, the living entities are born from the transcendental body of the Lord. This relationship between the Lord and the living entities is explained in the Vedic literatures, wherein it is said that the Supreme Lord maintains all his children, giving them whatever they want. Similarly, in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, I am the seed giving Father of all living entities. It is very simple to understand that the Father gives birth to the children, but the children act according to their own desires. Therefore, the father is never responsible for the different futures of his children. Each child can take advantage of the father's property and instruction, but even though the inheritance and instruction may be the same for all the children, out of their different desires, each child creates a different life and thereby suffers or enjoys. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Very nicely read. Thank you so much, Mataji. So, very cool thing, right? Everywhere, the first thing I think I noticed some initial days, some of them have actually raised in level 1 as to why if God has created so many things, Goloka, why can't he even maintain one Loka properly? Because so many people are suffering. Problem is, people are suffering for their own action,
Yes,
right?
Mataji, correct.
Come, and while wait, I will take Shweta as example. Now I come and pinch Shweta, and Shweta gets angry and she yells at me. Can I tell that Shweta is simply yelling at me and it's totally Shweta's fault? You can't, right? So now, assuming both of us are in the same class, and the teacher, what they will tell? They will tell both of us to get out. Now what happens
Yes.
is, Shweta may be innocent, but still, because of Radhika's mischievous thing, she is also having this problem, right? So tomorrow you will argue, she never did anything. Why is she punished? Many times we are getting that feeling, right? In school, I did nothing.
Yes,
She's
Mataji, correct.
right. Because if you see, it's a very small example, but actually, if you think big, what is the bottom line is all this is joint karma, right? The person who did instigated bigger karma here, but you have not done anything. Why? Because both of us share some karma. This girl needs to be thrown out because that is immediately it's coming out, right? Which is prarabdya karta. I mean, sorry, prarabdya karma, right? Immediately it is showing. Whereas aprarabdya, something done in your previous janma for Shweta is flowing slowly. That is why the teacher threw both out, right? So this is how accounts get settled. But unfortunately, we need to see. We believe is always what we see is what we believe, right? So we want everything to happen immediately. So this is the feeling we are having. So then go to the next. Yeah, we can go ahead. So this is what, so just like children, parents have two children. One child becomes not much in India, but I had been to Germany where I saw two kids. One kid was number 7 in among the CBI ranking, right? He was one of the top 7 official, and the other son was a taxi driver. Now, do you think, and both were just about a year or 2 years apart. Do you think the parents would have made one son officer and another son a taxi driver?
No, Mataji, I think so not.
No, very rarely, very exceptional mothers may do if their parents will do if one is very poor or something. But normally, the same amount of education is given, same amount is spent. But the reason why this happens is because of the situation, right? Yeah, go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Revati Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You go ahead and read it.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna everyone. Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita's instructions are equal for everyone. Everyone should surrender unto the Supreme Lord, and He will take charge of one and protect one from sinful reactions. The facilities of living in the creation of the Lord are equally offered to all living entities. Whatever there is, either on the land, in the water, or in the sky, is equally given to all living entities. Since all living beings are sons of the Supreme Lord, everyone can enjoy the material facilities given by the Lord, but unfortunate living entities create unfavorable conditions of life by fighting among themselves. The responsibility for this fighting and creating favorable and unfavorable situations lies with the living entities, not with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if the living entities take advantage of the Lord's instructions as given in the Bhagavad Gita and develop Krishna consciousness, then their lives become sublime as they can go back to Godhead. One may argue that because this material world is created by the Lord, He is therefore responsible for its condition. Certainly, He is indirectly responsible for the creation and maintenance of this material world. But he is never responsible for the different conditions of the living entities. The Lord's creation of this material world is compared to a cloud's creation of vegetation. In the rainy season, the cloud creates different varieties of vegetations. The cloud pours water on the surface of the earth, but it never touches the earth directly. Similarly, the Lord creates this material world simply by glancing over the material energy. This is confirmed in the Vedas. He threw his glance over the material nature, and thus there was creation. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also confirmed that simply by his transcendental glance over the material nature, he creates different varieties of entities, both movable and immovable, living and dead. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. So basically, God is creating nice living entities, right? And people's action, He cannot be responsible. However, many people will be arguing, is He not supposed to maintain? He maintains. He is giving. Mahatma Gandhi says, Krishna is given for everybody's need, but not for greed, right? That's the problem we have. For us, what we are having is greed. We want so much of everything. But Krishna has given so much of everything, but it is not just our need, right? We are very greedy that we want more than what is actually required. So that is where we are having shortage of stuff. Yeah, next.
Lakshmi Prasad Mataji, can you
Revati
continue?
Mataji is not there, is it? Unmute Revati Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, maybe she's just silently listening. Yeah, go ahead. Lakshmi Prasad Mataji.
Shall I read Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, continue to paras Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Happy Akshay Triti for all of you all. Again.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji, and same to you, Matajis.
Happy Akshay Triti. The creation
Happy Akshaya Tritiya, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, go ahead, Ritu.
The creation of the material world can therefore be taken as one of the pastimes of the Lord. It is called one of the Lord's pastimes because he creates this material world whenever he desires. This desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also extreme mercy on his part because it gives the conditioned souls another chance to develop their original consciousness and thus go back to Godhead. Therefore, no one can blame the Supreme Lord for creating this material world. From the subject matter under discussion, we can gain a clear understanding of the difference between the impersonalist and the personalist. The impersonal conception recommends merging into the existence of the Supreme, and the voidist philosophy recommends making all material varieties void. Both these philosophies are known as Mayavada. Certainly, the cosmic manifestation comes to a close and becomes void when the living entities merge into the body of Narayana to rest until another creation, and this may be called an impersonal condition. But these conditions are never eternal. The cessation of the variegatedness of the material world and the merging of the living entities into the body of Supreme are not permanent because the creation will take place again and the living entities who merged into the body of the Supreme without having developed their Krishna consciousness will again appear in this material world when there is another creation. The Bhagavad Gita confirms the fact that this material world is created and annihilated perpetually and that conditioned souls without Krishna consciousness come back again and again whenever the material creation is manifest. If such conditioned souls take advantage of this opportunity and develop Krishna consciousness under the direct instruction of the Lord, then they are transferred to the spiritual world and do not have to come back to the material creation. It is said, therefore, that the voidist and the impersonalist are not very intelligent because they do not take shelter under the lotus feet of the Lord. Because they are less intelligent, these voidists and impersonalists take to different type of austerities, either to attain the stage of nirvana, which means finishing the material conditions of life, or to attain oneness by merging into the body of the Lord. All of them again fall down because they neglect the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So what they are talking about is there are two types of liberation, right? Brahma Nirvana. So basically what happens is they actually want to, Aham Brahmasmi is a concept, but they want to go, they believe in the concept of Niti Niti. This is no, they will not touch like this, they want to touch like this. So obviously Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Ma Prapadante Masudevan Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Durlabaha. They don't want this body, they want to run away, right, from problems. So they relate body to problems. So they prefer not to be here at all. So that's the concept. So this is what they are talking about. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, can I read?
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. So even if after independence,
Yes.
we will come back here. Yes. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji. Happy Akshaya Tritiya, Mataji.
Happy Akshaya Tritiya. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm in ISKCON Temple, MG Road. So I've reached here and from ISKCON Temple, I'm reading this paragraph.
Keep video so we'll have a chance to see the deity or.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll go inside. I'm outside now near the bookstore so that should not be disturbed the people. I'll go and show the DT, Mataji.
We'll show the deity. Sure, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Yeah. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the author Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, after studying all the Vedic literature and hearing from all authorities, has given this opinion that the Krishna is the only supreme master and that all living entities are his eternal servants. His statement is confirmed in the prayers by the personified Vedas. The conclusion is therefore that everyone is under the control of the supreme personality of Godhead. Everyone is serving under the supreme direction of the Lord, and everyone is afraid of the supreme personality of Godhead. It is out of fear of him that activities are rightly executed. Everyone's position is to be subordinate to the Supreme Lord, yet the Lord has no partiality in his view of the living entities. He is just like unlimited sky, as the sparks of a fire dances in the fire. Similarly, all living entities are like birds flying in the unlimited sky of the Supreme Lord. Some of them are flying very high, and some are flying at a lower altitude, and some are flying at still lower altitude. The different birds are flying. The different birds are flying in different positions according to their respective abilities. But the sky has nothing to do with this ability. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord confirms that He awards different positions to different living entities in proportion to their surrender. This proportionate rewards by the personality of Godhead to the living entities is not a partiality. Therefore, in spite of the living entities always being under the control of the supreme personality of Godhead in the different positions, spheres, and species of life, he is never responsible for the different living conditions. It is foolish and artificial, therefore, to think oneself equal to the Supreme Lord, and it is still more foolish to think that one has not seen God. Everyone is seeing God according to his capacity. The only difference is that the theist sees God as a Supreme Personality, the most beloved Krishna, and the atheist sees the absolute truth as ultimate death. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much.
Very nice, Mataji. So basically, what they are telling is everybody will see. If not, they will get to see God. Mataji, you go inside the temple so that we
Yeah,
have.
yeah. Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you,
show you the deity, Mataji.
sure, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Everybody
Krishna Mataji.
sees God, and everybody has a chance to see God. The only difference is theists will see him as Lord, and the atheists will see him as the at least at the time of death he'll see. Right. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah. We'll wait for a second. Let me just try and have darshan of the Lord. So you just.
Excuse me, want to see my deity, want to see the Lord. This would you this, please. नहीं हो रहा है क्या Zoom का कैमरा?
Camera they will not allow, but they will allow video directly.
Okay, can you show the video, please?
Zoom, just tell them Zoom. So
Yeah, Zoom, through the Zoom. Yeah.
who Mataji has correctly joined for darshan. We are just trying to see darshan of Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, correct.
I'm unable to pin her. I'm just wondering why. Oh, Prabhu itself is sharing. Very nice. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Show the please show. Can you see? Just show.
Yes.
Your Shiksha Guru. She's our Shiksha Guru.
Hari bol. Very nice.
Hari
Hari.
bol,
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Thank you so much for the help, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, very nice.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Revati Mataji. Hare Krishna. Very nice. This is ISKCON MG Road.
You can show.
You show better. Better than me.
You have to just get like this.
Can you see Mataji?
Yes, yes, we can see. We see the Gopi, we see Manjari.
Can you see Mataji?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, Chaitanya, Nitai.
Yeah, and you see, this is the thing, and this is, they've now renovated the temple recently.
Hari bol. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hari bol. Tulsi Ma.
No, thanks. Hare Krishna Mataji. It's a pleasure
Hare
for me
Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Dandavat pranam to Prabhu also. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam to you also.
ISKCON Mangaluru team reporting here. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo. Srila Prabhupada Ji, Namacharya Haridas Thakur. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It's okay, fine, Mataji. You carry on, have your darshan.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
very
Mataji.
much.
End the meeting.
Happy Akshaya Tritiya.
Hare Krishna.